So welcome to the series. This is 90 hours of Cyberpunk. I've beaten the game, and these are my thoughts. When I first started playing, Cyberpunk was probably one of my favorite games in a long time. I thought I was dropping Deep Rock and Red Dead for this unbelievable sci-fi world to get lost in. In the world of Cyberpunk, I could be anyone. I could change my hair to what I wanted, paint my nails to what I wanted. The freedom to choose was mine. Oh, the small ass dick. I was now well on my way to meet new friends, explore the city, could take a lovely stroll out by the docks. What could go wrong? Apparently, a lot could go wrong.
Under heavy fire! Stay with me!
Oh my god. Oh my god, look at his leg. Oh my god, what'd I do to him? Get him, Jackie. Hey. What the? Wait a minute, where'd my pants go? Where'd my pants? Who's floating phone? What the fuck? Wow, I can actually read the text on there. That's crazy. Oh, trash. Oh no! Oh my god, what are you doing in here? Oh! Oh my god. Oh. Car ghost, please. Please, I'm sorry I stole this car. I'm sorry. I know it's stolen. Don't hurt me. So this continued on for a while. One moment, I'd be enjoying how beautiful this game is, and the next, more of this. This is one of those games where you'd expect nothing but perfection, given how long it's been developed, and the huge amount of credibility CD Projekt Red has built with The Witcher 3. But this game is definitely not finished. And I think because of that, I'm somewhat thankful. Some of these glitches and bugs were so hilarious that they made me forget that I was playing Cyberpunk, so to speak. It made me forget that this is supposed to be a perfect game that's been in development for almost a decade. It reminded me not to take things so seriously all the time, to laugh a little. Why get frustrated at the game when I get on my bike and my head disappears? Which is actually hilarious. So those are the good bugs, but what about the bad ones? There were times where the game forced me to start OBS and start recording before getting into the game, otherwise it would crash immediately after tapping out. And 75% through the game, this voice line was stuck on my screen. Every time I would load, Johnny Silverhand would just have to remind me that Jiro's brain had turned into jelly. Okay, so long-winded sequence to say, hey, the bugs that crashed were terrible because I couldn't play the game, but the bugs that occurred while I was actually playing the game kind of added to the experience. So let's get on to the actual game. It starts out so strong with a crazy intro sequence that immersed me into every little aspect of the world that CD Projekt Red had created. Everything was explained in a way that connected the game's HUD to the gameplay. I think one of my favorite examples of this was getting augmentations for my eyes. Once my new eyes were installed, I swear the game actually upped the resolution, which made me feel like I actually had new eyes installed. And along with that, it explained a bunch of HUD elements in a way that felt natural, like seeing phone calls populate, or having red enemy outlines. It made sense, because I now had cyborg eyes. Something so straightforward as connecting the HUD to a story element created so much immersion for me. Now, wherever I went, or whatever I did, it felt like I was actually a natural part of the world. So to me, the best parts of Cyberpunk were the shooting, driving, and exploring. I love a world where there are unique events that occur spontaneously, and those kind of continue to give you that feeling of immersion. One of the weirdest and yet most memorable of these unique events was this man whose special, if you get what I mean, augmentation had gone wrong and desperately needed my help to fix it. I kind of wish there were more of these unique events. They tapered off when I was about 50% through the game and just really left me wanting more. Without them, it reminded me that I was just another player completing objectives rather than an actual character in this world with a real lasting impact. But onto the shooting. It was great, depending on the weapon I had equipped. Some felt amazing and others like they were full of blanks. But when it worked, I felt like a badass. This specific 50 cal sniper rifle felt amazing after using a bunch of dinky rifles. As for driving, this helped bridge all of the exploration that holds it together. Driving feels good. Cars are weighty, each handles uniquely, and supercars and bikes actually feel like they're fast and expensive. There are a bunch of cars that you have the option of purchasing throughout the game, but after acquiring one mid-range car, I didn't really feel the need to get any of the others. I think driving is one aspect that wasn't completely finished in the game. There's such a big missed opportunity here to provide decent, exciting racing missions like you find in a lot of other open-world vehicle-based games. Here, in Cyberpunk, there's one questline, and let's just say the other vehicles can't actually hold a real map position, so they just sort of continuously spawn behind you no matter how fast you're going and how far you get ahead. And then there's the exploration. I had the time of my life at first, finding random thugs, smashing them, taking their stuff, and of course finding new weapons, looting and shooting. Release the gates to my endorphins. But after clearing out maybe 50% of the map, it starts to dawn on you that, hey, these are the exact same thugs with the exact same tactics, with the exact same loot. Almost. Slight differences between them, but overall, it's the same rinse and repeat gameplay loop. Find a mapped icon, drive, walk, or power jump there, and clear it out. Now that might sound bad, but this is actually my favorite part of the game, and usually is for open world titles. The freedom to explore and shoot things is just something I think gets me every time. I just wish there's a little more variety and uniqueness to the things that you find and do. And last but not least, the part where the game works, but in my eyes isn't complete, the story. So here we go. A few minor spoilers incoming. You still here? Alright, the story. The story is what the player is investing in, right? The gameplay is the meat of the game, and the story is the bread that holds it all together. Without it, you just have some baloney. So what's my problem with the story? First off, the brain dances. If you don't know, these are sequences that force you out of the cycle of exploring, shooting, and fun. They actually make you go through essentially a video replay of a memory, where all you can do is look around until you stare at the correct person or object, and then the game allows you to move forward. These are so boring and so bad that I found myself wanting to skip any missions containing any of these entirely. And unfortunately, they're baked into some of the main missions in the game, leaving you to drag your feet through them.
Holy shit.
Oh, and there's even one side mission that's primarily based in brain dances and finding these little boring knickknacks until the game lets you to move through. So if that weren't bad enough, your main friend or enemy throughout the game is Keanu Reeves. And he's an asshole. That's it. I kept waiting for a moment where Keanu's character would redeem himself. Because, I mean, he's being played by Keanu Reeves. And a moment where I would actually want to let my character become him, you know, and become a cool rock and roll badass. I waited and waited, but it turns out he's just an asshole, which led me to not really care about him or my character. And now the big one, the ending. Still here? Great. Major spoilers ahead. Skip to the black end spoilers scene if you need to. Ready? Alright.
I'm calling Pan Am. Pan Am.
So the ending. I know there are 5 pathways to choose and endings to get, but I chose Pan Am and the Aldecados, so all this critique is on that path. What's my biggest gripe with Cyberpunk? The fact that everything after the halfway point in the game feels unpolished. The writing, gameplay, story, it all wears thin. I felt it during the final few missions. They just didn't have the same lasting impact that the first few missions had. Comparing the first actual mission with Jackie, saving Sandra Dorset, to driving a Militech tank to break into Mikoshi, which by the way is essentially the last mission with gameplay of the Aldecados pathway. Give me a mission like saving Sandra Dorset any day. It's so much more cinematic, sneaking around, the intensity of the situation. Meanwhile, driving an all-powerful tank and having target practice with predictable enemies and movement, surprisingly boring and unimpactful. The enemies feel like dummies sent at you to dispatch, like target practice. Here's another example. Oh my god. What is this, a Star Wars shootout? What the fuck? How do I melee again? Oh, Q. Alright, back to it. And every member of the Aldecados that dies just didn't really impact me at all. I didn't really care. I just wanted to get through the game and get to an ending at this point.
I can do that
so in the end, I ended up escaping with Pan Am into the desert, which to me was so unsatisfying because I was hoping so badly to unlock a bunch of gear and go back to living and exploring far away from the story into my favorite portions of the game, the actual gameplay. Who else would uncover bugs and amazing glitches for CD Projekt Red to fix? Me, of course. But alas, there was no more game. And so hey, that's all from me. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time. Hey, get out of my car. That's my car you're standing in. Oh, hey, lady. Get out of my car. What the fuck? Dude, you can't just stand in my car. Hey. Hey, don't stand in my car.
You see, I'm busy.
Hey. Miss, you're standing in my car. Could you not?
Piss off, slacker.
Hey.
Another fucking weasel.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Get out of my car. Get out of my car. Hey.
Leave me alone.
Get the fuck out of my car. Get out of my car. Oh. Oh my god, their bodies.